The 11th of November is an important date to our calendar. It's known as Remembrance Day. Remembering the day and remembering and reflecting upon all of the bravery of our soldiers who died while fighting for our freedoms in all wars. Memorial services are held everywhere on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And it's mainly in referral to the First and Second World War. We still have some surviving World War II veterans from the Second World War, but sadly very many of them have died. Especially all the World War I veterans, not surprisingly. They've all but passed away. Very much the last three World War I veterans all passed away in 2009. Because of Remembrance, and some of you may remember Remembrance Sunday of 2008, where it had Bill Stone, Harry Patch, and Henry Allingham. Bill Patch was then 108, Harry Patch 110, and Henry Allingham 112, who was the oldest man in England at that time before becoming the world's oldest man just 13 days after his 113th birthday, which was somewhat his final birthday, unknown to many until it happened. And he held the title of the world's oldest man for only a maximum number of 29 days. From the 19th of June 2009 until the 18th of July 2009, which was the day he sadly died on. Very sad. And, I'm sorry. But, Remembrance Day will always be an important day. Always, always. For the rest of our lives to come. I mean, there are some children, very, very old centenarians, or super centenarians now, who are alive as of now, who lived, who were already very, very young during the First World War from start to finish, but many of them had died. But few are alive now, children who survived World War I, very, very young children, as many would be 110 or over 110 now, or some in their very, very late hundreds. But I think before long, sadly, all children who were alive during World War I are eventually going to be nothing but extinct. It's awful saying this, but this is the harsh reality, especially when it comes to old age. But yes, it is a very, very highly, highly important day, Remembrance Sunday, and it is very, very important that we never forget this day. I mean, even if there are many people who don't care, or are not entirely sure, or don't fully understand Remembrance Day very much of the day, one must remember that Remembrance Day is not about remembering those serving war or remembering the horror of war. It's about the conflict in which many of the soldiers and civilians had suffered through, a reminder of why we must never have world wars again. It's also a timely reminder to reflect the soldiers who had passed away as well, who had defended our freedoms. And the Ukraine invasion and the war in Ukraine is an example as to why we must never have wars, or why all countries politically must learn to live and get along with each other constructively, and if there are disagreements, negotiating is the best way forward, and not illegally invading or fighting. Certainly not the way to go, even though one cannot say this in front of politics themselves. But Remembrance Day, extremely important day, and a timely reminder as to why it is important that we have this annual eventful day. Thanks all for watching. Lest we forget, Remembrance Day 2022.